Welcome back. Well, now back to one of our top stories this evening, where mop-up operations are continuing following a heavy snow in parts of the country. But for more on this, we speak now to Cooperative Governance Minister, Minister Velenkosini Hlabisa. Minister, good evening to you. Thank you so much for joining us. I think I'll give you first a platform just to share, your initial reaction to just the images that we saw being shared across the on the social media platforms, certainly, and on the mainstream media around the mess that we saw, particularly on the N3, with people stuck for hours on end as a result of that snowstorm.
Thank you very much, Naledi, and good evening to all the viewers of Newzroom Afrika. I think, Naledi, we must really come into terms with the reality of the climate change. We have been worried about water, the floods. Now, a new thing that has just happened over the past 2 days, the snow, which has caused our people to be stuck on the road for almost 24 hours. This is just new, and we must expect more challenges related to the climate change. But I do want to thank all the humanitarian organizations that came on board to help our people who were trapped on the road. When we managed to rescue them yesterday to nearest community halls, they were provided with ready-made hot food, which became a great relief from the humanitarian organizations. I also want to thank the ordinary citizens that became helpful to our people whom we have been rescuing, especially as late as yesterday. The government departments came on board in terms of assisting our people. As we speak now, SANDF is of great help in clearing the roads together with the provincial departments, Cogta at provincial level in KwaZulu-Natal, especially with regard to N3, as well as other departments who came on board in terms of bringing all necessary help in as far as the people who were stuck on the road were concerned. As of now, many roads are being cleared, and we want to emphasize and encourage people to delay their trips. The roads that are being open is for rescue purposes, and clearing the snow is not to allow free traveling, because the situation might come back to normal by the end of the day tomorrow. So anyone who can delay or avoid a trip, we encourage to do so, because roads technically remain closed but open for recovery purposes, as well as ensuring that we rescue and we clear the snow, so that, because one bigger challenge, the snow, because it is wet, it is slippery. There is a great possibility of many accidents when the road is not yet cleared of the snow. That is why we don't encourage people to drive in a state in which our roads are throughout the N3, especially Eastern Cape and Free State.
Minister, I'm keen to hear just the sort of resources that you are given before an event like this, and certainly the warnings, right? And there's been a bigger conversation around climate change in, African countries, certainly South Africa, asking for more resources to be able to detect when we are going to have an extreme weather event. Do you think that you've got those resources to be able to really put measures in place before people are put in a situation like this?
I think we learned it a hard way over the past incident. The warnings were done timeously. Going forward, Naledi, when warnings are given at the level in which they were given, the swiftest thing that we must do is to close the roads, because there is nothing you can do to prevent the snow if it has been predicted. The only thing that you can do is to close the road. And we will appeal to our people to cooperate, because we nearly had a disaster when people stuck on the road. And thanks God, even if there is one soul that was lost, but it's not as devastating as it might have been to lose many people trapped in the snow for many hours, because unfortunately, even the helicopters couldn't assist, although they were available from the Army, SNADF, but they could not flew over the areas where our people were stuck, because there was also mist over the snow in other areas. And we thank God we did not lose many souls beside the one person reported. We know there are going to be repercussions in terms of livestock. Many cattle and other livestock are going to die after this heavy cold weather. And some people, in terms of their livelihood, in terms of houses, we're still going to have a challenge after the snow has cleared. But in terms of human souls, we thank God. Going forward, when such alert has been made, we will need to be vigilant in terms of closing the roads, and we will have to appeal to people to cooperate in order to avert what we saw yesterday since Friday.
And it certainly is one thing to say you get the alert and then you then take the action of closing the roads, Minister, but obviously there's going to be the expectation of, clear communication from government prior to a big weather incident, when you are receiving those alerts that is shared with the public. Do you think that was done sufficiently?
No, Naledi, really, it will be very few people who did not get the message out of the alert that was made by the South African Weather Services. The information was circulated widely. The only thing is that we did not anticipate the extent the snow will be. And we were taken by surprise, all of us, when we saw people being trapped on the road. It was beyond what we could imagine. We did communicate to people that, please, if you can delay your trip, do so, or if you can cancel your trip, do so. Unfortunately, this weekend coincided with a long weekend. Some people took Monday to include Tuesday as a public holiday. And now, as I'm saying, people, even if they had the alert, but people said, I've already made bookings, I've already paid, and everything is has to go now, because the alert only comes a day before I had to embark on my trip. But going forward, we will do every effort when such an alert is made and take an extra step to save people not to experience what we experienced. And I hope and believe our people will cooperate.
Yeah. And a final question, Minister. Of course, you did say to us earlier that those who are travelling for this weekend, you've asked for them to delay their travel plans as much as they possibly can. What are the timeframes that you have set for yourself or for all officials, really, for us to see roads completely cleared?
I think the earliest will be on Tuesday, because you cannot predict weather. Yes, the forecast can be done, but the nature is controlled by forces beyond us and even God. So now we are looking forward that the snow is not going to be continuing as it has not been continuing today. Tomorrow, we should concentrate on clearing all the roads. And by Tuesday, if there is no change in our weather, the roads should be clear, and we will make an announcement that all roads are officially open for traveling, because rescue has been done and clearing of the snow has been done in Free State. There is a snow which is called the black snow, which is very hard and very adamant to be cleared, but we are hopeful that by Tuesday, the latest, all roads should be cleared, but we will make a formal communication so that people can embark on their journeys across provinces.